Hi, it's Bernie Slavin. Thanks for joining me in Facebook and YouTube Live. YouTube obviously to my left, and here we go in the Facebook Live. Hi, it's Bernie Slavin. Thanks for joining me on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. What a day it's been. Anyway, thanks as always to sponsors, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Galaxy Blinds, Ultimate Windows, Cornerstone, Ocean Lighting, Dovecot, Advanced Utility Solutions, GRS Insulation, and TGM Cars. Just come in from the game. I went to the game at the Dovecot as always, and then I've dashed back. That's why I've still got my gear on. Obviously, we're into the game today looking... Well, before I talk about the game, let's give you the team. I've written the team down. Glover in goal, Thomas, O'Brien, McNair, and Ailing, Van den Berg. McGree, Balasa, Foz, Azaz, Silvera. And on the bench was Clark, Dieng, Dick Steele, Engel, Gilbert, Greenwood, Latilaf, McCabe and Woolston. The game today, we're into today's game in the back of a great result and performance against Leicester City last week. We deserved it for me. They had a couple of chances, yeah, but we deserved it. I was thinking we'll come out today, springing our step, playing against a Plymouth team who's not been good in their travels and who barely won a game in their travels and who's not won a game in the last 5. But in typical Middlesbrough fashion, we go out after the plaudits and we never started. We never get going. And before you know it, within 31 minutes, we're 2-0 down. Defence went missing. We were slow laboured. This fanning about at the back continued. It was boring. It was frustrating to watch. And we ended up changing everything in the second half, getting all the subs on, but nothing changed. We never got any better. The momentum didn't rise. It was a horror show. I mean, the last time I witnessed a horror show like that was probably The Exorcist in the movies. That's how bad it was. It was scary. When MC Michael Carrick says he takes responsibility, what exactly does he think he is responsible for? And when did the penny drop for him? That's for David Goldsberg. So look at today, no zipper zest. We continued, as I say, the usual passing, boring. And we nearly got caught a couple of times before the goals. I need a decent centre forward. The big number 9 was a handful. But yeah, no shots on target in the duration of the game. That for me says it all. Sometimes you reap what you sow. We've let players go. I mean, not out and out prolific, but probably better players than what's still here. And we're getting punished heavily. The passing was slow and it was really... There's no defence for the indefensible today. There's not one player who could come out with any credit and says, hey, I did my job today. We were hopeless. And I would say that if I met the lads now, I'd say I watched it today, hopeless. There was no real fire in the bellies, no leaders, no passion. It was just an acceptance. No happening today. Not one shot on target at home against Plymouth Argyle. No 1 in 5, one away from home for I don't know how long. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing. And not good enough and unacceptable. And the fans showed the frustration, and I've been here long enough. I get booed many a time individually as myself and collectively, and a lot of the times it was we deserved it. Well, today I'm sorry, I say to the fans, don't boo the team, but it was the writing was on the wall. We could see what was going to happen. There just wasn't any leaders or leadership. The biggest mass exit today from the fans, even at half time, there was loads of empty seats. That's for Dave Longstaff. Yeah, and that wasn't a protest because the fans had settled something with the football club. It was down to the bad display, the rank bad display. I can't sit here and defend the players. And as I say, I've played in games like this. I know what it's about. And you get stick and you get boos. But these modern players are not used to boos from the fans. They had it the other week, the last home game. And now that's 5 home games since the turn of the year. And we've not won one of them. I think we've had something like 2 points out of 15 at home. That is damning statistics. That's not an opinion. That is statistics. 2 points in 15 at home in front of your own fans. We've not won a game in a new year. And looking at today, it's unlikely to come. Okay, Bernie, so what does Michael Carrick need to do to turn things round? David Goldstaff. Is it Goldstaff or Goldborough? Goldborough, I think it is, sorry. Gisborough, it says David Gisborough. Or Goldsborough, whatever. What does he have to do? Listen, the best thing he could have did is hold on to all the players that's gone. But obviously that's not the way the modern game works. I mean, there's some guy arguing with me at the table. I don't even know why I get involved. He had a few drinks and he was aggressive and saying, "What do you know and how's this?" And somebody says, "Michael Carrick in 2 years' time, Michael Carrick." I says, "Michael Carrick won't be here in 2 years' time. I hope he is, but the odds are he won't. If he fails and falters and goes, keep playing like this, then he'll be gone. If he's successful, he'll still be gone." Players and managers and coaches just come and go every couple of years. There's no... And that's what I meant by that reply to the lad. But he was asking, "How do you know this?" And Carrick picked Beleza. He's been watching him for years. I said, "What are you on about? How do you know?" As I say, Michael Carrick, watching players going out the door that probably he doesn't want to go out, must be frustrating. And now you're seeing what we're up against. Well, I'm not saying that guys at Scona were the set the hair alight were unbelievably good, Rodgers and co, but they were half decent. And players in the team now looking at players like that going and not replacing them, they feel like the fans frustrated. Confidence levels dip and drop. I get it. You can't say Howson and Hackney were out today. We're playing Plymouth and Gale. We played Rotherham 3-4 weeks ago at home. Same outcome. Anyway, rant over. I'm going to go over the fans. You're the most important, not me. Evening, Bernie. Unlike Borough, at least we turned up. Paul Kearney. Evening, Bernie. Unlike the Borough, at least we turned up. Yeah, fans turned up. As I say, they showed the frustration, vented their spleens. Yeah, they were going to walk out after half an hour. Well, I did see a right few heading off once they scored the second. It was nothing to do with the protest that was going to happen. It never happened. Time to admit, we missed you, Stedham. Do you know what, Kev? I've read it out deliberately. It makes me smile, Kev. Paul Kelly says, "Worst game I've seen for a long time, and I've followed for 50 years now." Do you know what? Today, we were spineless. That's a harsh word to use. I've never really used that word. But we were spineless today. No leaders, no passion, no grit, no determination, no creativity, no finishing skills. Defensively, all over the shop. No leaders. There was just so much that never happened today. And the boos, I can relate to the boos. I've heard them in the past games I've played in. And I know that Borough fans will back you to the hilt, but when they see you not putting a shift in, an honest shift, they'll soon get on your case. And I think some of the players today would have, well, they didn't wake up throughout the game, but they might wake up for out the end of the season and know that the fans are going to accept it. That was for Paul Kearney. Matt McNeil says, "Watch the game, Bernie Joseph Slavin, not one shot on target, shocking." Yeah, somebody shouted along. Why, it was Big Jeff shouted along. "Bernie, no shots on target." I says, "No." Because I'm at them down for doing things like this and talking about the game, and I like to be clued up and involved and know what I'm talking about. But no shots on target. Again, one's blocked, one's off target. Simply not good enough. Not good enough. Like Love come off the bench and his first touch was as heavy as, and it flew by the post. If he gets a touch, you might get a shot in. Don't get me wrong. In his defence, he's just off the bench. He's still cold. But that's one of my criticisms of Latty Laugh. His touch is heavy. He's fast. His work rate's phenomenal. Great attitude. But for 5 million, I expect you to have a good touch. And I don't think he has got a good touch. I'm giving him the benefits of the doubt when he came off the bench. His touch was heavy. But not good enough. Right throughout the team, there was not one player. I was surprised that McGree get taken off. I don't think McGree was at his best, but dear God, if I was Carrick at half time, I'd have probably dragged half the team off and put half of them on. That's what they've done. I know we did put 5 subs on overall. I'd have did it at half time. Wouldn't have messed about, make a statement. Horror show, no shots on target, not good enough. As I say, Smoggy Robbo, I've compared today's showing like The Exorcist. When you seen The Exorcist for the first time, by God, it was scary. Well, so was today's game. I'm not even saying that for effect or a laugh. That's how bad it was. It was frightening. How last week we got the plaudits, we get back in track against the number one team in the division. I know they get done last night with Leeds, but we beat them and deserved the victory and played ever so well. And then the wheels have all come off. The players need to donate their wages to charity. Absolutely disgraceful for Robert Suggett. Paul says, "We were garbage, no shots on target against Plymouth. Says it all, season over. Leslie Cotter says, I thought we would win today, but no striker. It's all we deserve. As I say, there's a saying in life, you reap what you sow, and maybe this is where we are, this is what we deserve. There was one today, we fannied about at the back, and I use that word, messing about it means, fanning about, thinking with the B's and E's, and actually it broke to one of their players. And I tell you what, if he would have had the quality and nous, he could have lifted his head and dinked over the keeper. That was one of them. And then there was another one. The lad got it in inside right. The keeper's ran to left back position. We're 2-0 down. Left back position. The keeper's away up there. I don't know what he's doing out there. He's went for a wander. He's out there. The lad gets the ball. The keeper's nowhere to be seen. Empty goal. Thankfully, the lad had his boots in the wrong feet. And it flew by the right-hand post. Otherwise, it would have been very, very, very embarrassing. Chris Andrews says, really bad team performance all round, but one player keeps standing out for me is poor, consistent performances, and that's Beleza. He needs to be dropped. So Chris Andrews is saying Beleza needs to be dropped. I'll be honest, I would drop them all into the River Tees after today. Went and waking up in that cold water. Recruitment this season, laughable. We need to buy proven players from the lower leagues, not unknown from poor foreign leagues. That's for David Jackson. Matt McNeil's agreeing with the previous. Beleza's one of the worst players I've seen in a Borough shirt. I mean, he didn't stand out. He stood out the same as the rest. They were all bad. I wouldn't exactly just pick him. Terrible game today. Carrick got it wrong today. That's for Ian Burns. And the subs were wrong. Well, the subs come on to make an impact and make an impression, and if anything, we get worse. Nothing improved. Carl Atley, hiya Carl. Hello Bernie, mate. That was absolute bollocks today. And wasn't happy with the performance at all and didn't show much at all. You know, I seen a wee quote from Michael Carrick the other day saying that we don't score enough goals, but we're being consistent. The only thing we're consistent is being inconsistent. I've not seen it in the play. I've not seen it in the games. I've not seen a run of games where we're consistent. Inconsistency, yeah, but no consistent. Some people say consistently bad. Andrew Hill says, I feel sorry for the fans who turned up and watched the Borough against Plymouth. The Borough players' performance was embarrassing, especially the defence and the goalkeeper, Andrew Hill. Well, I don't think anybody came out with any praise today, any credit. Nobody. Not one soul. No shots in target. Come on. No shots in target against Plymouth. The guy who was no 1 in 5 and no won a game away from home for God knows how long. Need to change Glover. His kicking's poor. Some people question the keeper. Robert Lyne saying today was disgraceful. Too slow, too sloppy, no pace. Tactics don't work with the players we have. It's our setup. It's a set-up, poor preparation. We are limping along as a club and team, and if Carrick disagrees, then he should stand his ground. He won't be short of cash. So I think he's more or less saying Carrick doesn't look happy, or if he's not in agreement with what's going on at the club, he should stand his ground and won't be short of cash, meaning walk away. I don't think he'll walk away. I don't think any manager, coach walks away with the money that they get owed. But Carrick must be frustrated. Yes, he must be frustrated. Dear goodness. When you see players going, the cash coming in, great. But as a coach, it's no good, because if you're not spending it right away and you're seeing players going out that you don't want to go out, and you're seeing players that staying that you want, it becomes a conundrum, and it must be very, very frustrating. Me personally, I couldn't cope in that environment. I couldn't cope with it. Carrick's cool, but I can see his demeanour now of the day. He looked frustrated. There was one time when we went 2-0, he's always pitch side and try to encourage the lads, but he disappeared into the dugout or somewhere. I don't know where he went, but he disappeared for the sideline. We're a decent side when we're up against top teams who come to attack us, and we can't counter-attack. We are horrendous. This is for Liam Bennett. I'll read it because he's texted a lot of stuff. We're decent side, we're up against teams who come to attack us and we can counter. We are horrendous against teams who put men behind the ball, absolutely horrendous. Only side not to score in the entire league today, and we played Plymouth at home. So the only side not to score in the entire league today, and we played against Plymouth at home. Yeah, I says that in the lounge before the game. I says, unlike Leicester, who looked at us and thought, we're at home, they've done us up there, we've learned our lesson, we'll go at them, we'll bang in a few goals. And they kept missing, well, they missed a few, and we hit them in the counter. And I think they were gobsmacked and surprised and shocked and horrified that we actually scored two. Now I says in the lounge before the game, this lot will come today, they'll just clog it up, frustrate, bore, kick, haul, doesn't matter what. And that's exactly what they did. Why can we not break them down? Because they get 2 banks of 5, the goalkeeper, and 2 banks of 5, and they just clog it up. They know we've no pace on the flanks, right or left. They know we've no trickery on the flanks. And they know if the ball comes in the air, we have no height in the middle. I think it's fairly simplistic, but I think that's what it is. But you're right, I agree with you, Liam. When the teams come to attack us, we can hit them on the counter. But when teams come to frustrate us, we've no outlet. Jones, some people don't like Jones, but Jones is a loss because he's got a bit of pace, a bit of trickery. Doesn't always deliver great balls, but and a lot of the times we did get the balls wide and we took 2, 3, 4 touches, slowed it down. Get the ball, get it in the box. But it has to be a certain type of delivery, i.e. whipped in. I would want it whipped in if an Ian Baird or Wilkinson or Stevens or whoever, they could win the balls there, but I wanted balls zipped in on the floor. But the time we put the ball in, no good, too late. Everything's clogged up. Andy Amity says, hi Bernie, I think a lot of Borough fans were realistic on this season and a lot were deluded. To talk about the playoffs is balmy. We are now actually looking over our shoulder instead of looking up. Let's hope we can have a strong finish to the end of the season. Somebody mentioned that to me. Somebody mentioned, Bernie, is this some kind of joke? We keep talking about the top 6. We might be in the bottom 6 before we know it and fighting. It could be. That's how mad the game is. No, I've mentioned that. So keep them coming and I'll keep reading them out. Ian Burns, if it wasn't for him today, it would have been 4-0. Craig Dale supporting the keeper. The keeper's a couple of great saves. And that's a fair point, that. You're knocking him, and I get why you knock him, but what about giving him a pat in the back and saying the keeper put off a couple of great saves? Carrick needs to use different tactics than our predictable style. We don't have the players to play from the back, and we need to play more direct football than David Jackson. Listen, I'm all for principles and morals and standards in football. I love football. I love the passing game. But we're not good at it. I mean, dear God, before they scored the goal, the first goal, we were messing about the back. The fans were going, whoa, get it forward. We're messing about, wrong areas, not good enough, too slow and laboured at it. It doesn't work. We've not got the players to succeed. Man City are the best team in the world. They sometimes hit a bit of trouble, but very seldom, because they're the best. We ain't Man City. I get the reason we do it, drag the forwards and play around them, create I get all that, but we're not good at it. When we get the ball in the left or right back positions, whether we're playing a flat back 4 or wing backs, get the ball, open up, play it up the line. Best ball in the game. Let whoever's up front in the midfield go and try and get it. And it gets you out of trouble and you can push up. But we keep messing about the back. The same old trait, the same old mistakes. It's boring and we're not good at it. And it's frustrating. And the fans vented the frustration today, and every right to. They pay a lot of hard-earned cash to get the home team, the Borough, to put on a show. And since the turn of the year, we've won not a game. I mentioned it, 2 points out of 15. It's not good enough. That's stats. It's not even an opinion. Nobody can come out and say, no, you're wrong. That's the statistics. Stadium will be back to being, this is for Craig Langstaff. Stadium will be back to being half empty next season. League 2 team could have won against us today. People won't pay to watch that rubbish. Well, home is where you drag people in. That's the hook to bring supporters and say, hey, you know, if you rewind it to the cup game, go away for the league, and when we played Chelsea the first leg, great atmosphere. Sellout, great atmosphere, great performance, Hackney goal, win the game, brilliant. Since then, dear me. Dave Swan says, disgusting, Bernard. The players are a disgrace to the club. Not one player were worth any credit as a supporter. So I've been a supporter since 1972. That was the worst. No words, and ashamed of the team. She was ashamed of the team. Look, you can't defend the indefensible. I've played in games. I've got booed, and rightly so, because I used to take it. Didn't like it, but I took it and thought, you know what? I deserve it. The stick of the booze. Didn't like it. But today, I can't defend it. They deserved it. They deserved it. They got the plaudits for last week and the pats in the back and stroking the egos, and rightly so, because we were very good. I watched the whole game against Leicester. But today, as if we weren't interested. It's that old saying when you get near the end of the season, what have we got, 13 games now? Some of the players are thinking of the holidays, or whether they're off to next year, or they're going to Bermuda, or they're going to the Bahamas, or it looked like that today. That's what it looked like for a former player looking at it thinking, you've got the sun cream out already in the deck chairs. It was a horror show. Dal Watson says, everyone's saying season's over, we're not good to go down. We're not too good enough to go down. Lose next week and we are worryingly close to the bottom three. This is for Dal Watson, who's a realist. Worrying close to the bottom three, and we do not have the strike force to get out of it. One dragged into the relegation fight. Fingers crossed, typical Borough. We will win next week. Can't see many paying those prices in the league. I'm not here to persuade or dissuade fans. You're a fan, you do what you think right. Regarding the early bird season tickets, I do the Red, which is the radio. You get it on DAB. I do that Monday 67 if you want to hear it this Monday, I'll be on. But I say on there, you know, I don't think anybody, when it comes to the early bird season tickets, the club has got its rights as a business to put prices up, change the date, whatever, whether you agree or disagree. The fan has got a right to say, I'm not doing it, I'm not paying it. We've got our own financial restraints, families, their own debt, the club's got their own restraints and financial stuff. So nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's a personal decision. The club make their decision. I don't think Steve Gibson for a minute wakes up in the morning and goes, do you know what? I'm going to hit him with another few quid. I'm going to bump the price up. I'm going to bring it earlier because I want to punish him. I don't think that for a minute. He's a businessman. He knows what's going on, the structure behind the scene, the financial structure. So he has to do what he thinks right for the club that he's kept afloat for many, many years. Fighting against the tide. Don't forget, he's been fighting against the tide for years. You're getting all these overseas billionaires come in. Steve Gibson's a millionaire. And then you've got the fans who've got their own financial restraints and difficulties. So it's a personal choice and a personal thing. I believe the club had a meeting the other day and they've kept an agreement under 18s. Well, if I was going for 40, 50 a year, I'd think, well, who's fighting for me? I would want discount as well. Not just for under 18s. What about the guys who've gone for 40 a year? For me, it'd be all or nothing. But that's me. So I've read that. I can't see many people here. I've read that. Alan Armstrong says our home form was always our strength, Bernie. I've never known it to be as bad as this for a long time. Also, again, this is Alan Armstrong. Also, again, how can we beat Leicester last week and then put in a pathetic home performance again today? They should have been full of confidence today, and we played like we had no confidence at all. I agree, Alan. I say I went at the game a day and a couple of my mates are saying, oh, this will be typical Borough, they'll beat us, and you're thinking. And then my gut, I was thinking, no, I think we'll be up for it. Great result last week. Tails are back up. Turn it round. Let's get the home form right. But no. And if you're going to do it in the season, your home form you have to turn your home form into a fortress. I'm sure you've heard that old cliche and saying, but it's true. But I believe we've been beaten more at home now than we have won games. Is it 6 or 7 defeats at home? 5 wins, something ridiculous. But we've actually lost more than we've won. The rest have been draws. But to have a successful season and being where we want to be top 6, you need to win your home games and try and nick points away from home. We're not, you see, it's like a robber coming in your house walking away with your tail and you're sitting watching them. That's what we're doing at the minute. They're just walking in and going, here, I'll have that and I'll have that and see you later, and walking away for free with no fight. That's what it's like. So, yeah, So no confidence at all, yeah. Stuart Gurley, hi Stuart. Evening Bernie, very poor today. Not one shot on target, well enough said up the effing borough. Oh Stuart, this is what happens if you don't get strikers in. I'm a former striker. I'm part of the Strikers Union. I've been at Middlesbrough 30 odd years now. I've watched hundreds of games and played hundreds of games. And no striker, you're looking for trouble. And sometimes you get what you deserve. And at the minute, I'll be honest, I think we deserve it. We deserve what we're getting. If you don't employ a striker or you're paying $5 million in average players, this is what you're going to get. I know strikers don't grow on trees, but surely you better give them two good ones and 5 bad ones. No, people are saying today, oh, like last, he might be starting. As if he's the Messiah. What, 5 goals in the month of March? You're having a laugh, aren't you? You're having a laugh. If I had 5 going into the month of March on the money I was on, peanuts compared to these guys, I'd be hiding under the bed. I don't know if forward players, modern strikers, know they've got a job to do and they need to hit something, i.e. goal targets. Not much in your bank account, hitting the goals. The creativity today was poor. The team was poor as a unit, not individuals. Everybody. There's not one player would have got a man of the match today or even a lick in it. Overhaul the lot for Bertie Bert, no messing about, just a couple of words. Paul Wilson says, hi Bernie, in your opinion, are these poor results down to the players or the manager? Well, first of all, Carrick's the coach, he's not the manager. Not only did we not buy a striker, we sold Crooks and Kavanagh for David Jackson. Yeah, look at it. Crooks, Kavanagh. So Crooks, I said last week, nonsense. How could we have not said to Villa, okay, you have him, give them the money or give us so much money, put it away. He's not going to be a first team regular there. And let him play it out to the end of the season. I'm sure Carrick would have loved that. But I don't think the guys who deal with the money would have, if Villa don't agree to that transformation, then it ain't going to happen. But with him leaving, and then we see Crooks going away with 18 months left in his contract. As I said last week, frustrating. If I was Carrick, I'd be knocking somebody's door down, saying, hold on a minute. You've let Rodgers go, we get that, loads of money, but that's not good to me as the coach. You've let Kavanagh go. I've not got a lot of strikers as it is. We don't know if he's good, bad or indifferent because we've not really seen him as yet. And now you're letting Crooks go, 18 months. A guy who's meant to be a big personality, who when you're struggling, lifts the morale and mood in the dressing room. He might score the odd goal or create the odd goal. He used to play and sometimes it would be frustrating, but he could always create something. We let him go because his family wanted to go to America after the window shut, or because the MLS doesn't include the window, we'll let him go. No good to Carrick that. If I was Carrick, I'd be knocking somebody else's door down. Saying, hold on a minute. We know his family and he's a father and a husband and your family's number one. But what about the 26,000 of the family Middlesbrough fans? Are we not a family? Do we not care? 18 months, we've let him go. When we've just seen Rodgers walk away, Kavanagh walk away. I don't get it. Okay then, after today, I bet you half the players, if you ask them, do you want to go? They'd say, yeah, let us go. Are we going to let them all go? Wind up with a 5-a-side team? We can't just bow if somebody says, I want to go, my family wants to move. Turn it up. I'm sure he could still go to the MLS come the end of the season. Lazy tracking back today. We just let Van der Berg on it. We left him on his own. 1v1 for the second goal. That's just from Red. And do you know what? That's right. We did. We all went missing. You can't actually say the counter because we never had a shot. But we got caught up the park or trying to go up the park. And it went 1-1 against Van der Berg. And the lad dropped his shoulder, went to Van der Berg's left, curled it, bottom left-hand corner. Great finish, but where did our defence go? Hi, Bernie, in your opinion, the results, I've read that out, but I've no answer. I think it's both. It's recruitment. It's the players. I think everybody's in it. Don't just go, oh, Carrick, he's a coach, he does this and that. No, everybody's got their finger in the pie. Everybody's adding to the mixture. Chairman, chief exec, director of football, coaching staff, including Carrick. They're all putting their tuppence worth in. But one guy will carry the can and that'll be Carrick. He's the guy that's in the spotlight. But I have to say, when I first came to Middlesbrough, I wouldn't, but as the years rolled on, if I would have been under this regime and out in the park and see my teammates fanning about at the back, playing square, boring, negative, flattened to disease football and going nowhere, I would be shouting, we ain't doing that, keeper, no chance, get it out forward and you stop fan. I'd be giving him it. Moaning, I like to moan, so do my teammates at me. If I wasn't doing something right, they give me it. I would be changing it. I'd be saying, we ain't doing it. He's told us that, but it ain't working. We've lost the goal. Let's, just like the Chelsea game. We're 1-0 in getting into the second leg. We go there, we end up 2-0 down, we're messing about the back, been caught twice. We just kept doing it over and over again. It's ridiculous. When you analyse it, it's ridiculous. Once you go, the old saying, you go over the line, you have to change it. If you're under there and under the spotlight and the glare, the world these days, because everything's magnified and everything's projected and showed on television and radio and papers, I ain't getting embarrassed, I'm changing it. But we just accept it. Oh, okay, it's not happening. We just keep trying the same old tosh. We ain't Man City, never will be Man City. We get the idea why we try it, but we're not good at it. Time to cut it, stop this nonsense. I'm looking at the bottom half of the table. We're not far off it, need to improve fast for Chris Andrews. Cal says, that's the thing with the Borough fans. They single one player out every week and forget the rest of them. Wasn't up to every. There's not a player today come out with any merit. If we get into the relegation scrap, do you think Carrick is the right sort of coach to save us? Wouldn't someone like Nigel Pearson be more suited to us saving us? Dear God, David, you've got us getting down relegated. Look, we've got 13 league games left. I think it's 13. It was 14. Yeah, I think it's 13. Could we be dragged into relegation without a doubt after watching today? Dear God, yeah. Will we? I don't think we will. But the top six, I've said since I started the start of the season, I never thought we'd be top six. Why? Because we let all the top players go. I pumped for the money. The other players were on loan. They weren't our property. They moved on the Premier League now. And then we brought 12 players, then total unknowns. 12 players unknown come in and going to set the hell light and be world beaters in the season. No chance. And people say build for the future. Carrick's not got a future. If you know what I mean. He's got a future in the game. Is it going to be at Middlesbrough? He won't be here in 4 years' time to watch these lads develop. Dear God, we let Rodgers go. He was only here 6 months. He's not exactly developed, but he's gone. Because we got the money. And people say Carrick will be here. Good, bad and different. Carrick won't be here until a year. Good, bad and different. So, this longevity and you're faithful to your club and that's went out the window years ago. There's none of that now. Hello, Bernie, you okay? Well, Mohammed, I was up to enjoy the day, but not the game. Today was shocking. Carrick can go for me. No ambitions in the club. Chris Bicknell says, typical Borough, we beat the top of the table 1 week and then lose the next week to a team that is closer to the relegation. We're nearer the relegation than the playoffs, and I think people are starting to think that now. Otter, it rhymes with Ian Wright. Now he's a professional footballer. How is he? Oh, sorry. Otter, Ian Wright, Mark Lee, what are we on about? How he's a professional footballer is unbelievable. Mohammed says, other written season off, Carrick doesn't seem to be a happy person. I have had enough. Bernie, I can accept a bad date. See this bad date in the office. I've heard that about 14 times this season. 1 day, yeah, 2, possibly 3, 4, 5, no. But no fight, no spirit, not putting a shift in, not acceptable. This is for Ricky Stairs. I think the modern game footballers are snowflakes, and Carrick doesn't Carrick doesn't really upset a few. If I was Carrick, I'd be wringing their necks after the game. Playoffs are gone. Now it's only because the inconsistency every single week does us in. Red. No, seriously, I wouldn't wring anybody's neck, but I'd have to give them a stern talking to and let them know you're representing Middlesbrough Football Club and you're not just here for a jolly. You're not here to get a move to elsewhere. The fans are paying hard-earned cash. This is Teesside. You know, this is a working class environment. We want guys that with a bit of steel and a bit of belief and a bit of passion, irrespective of how it's going. We might not win, we're all going to put a shift in. The team I played in, the majority were local lads. They put a shift in. Hey, we had nightmares, we had bad games, bad results, got booed, got harassed. Fine. But I tell you what, I don't think the team I played in, wouldn't they put a shift in? I think that was one thing you could guarantee. They would put a lot in. If we get beat, it'd be because the opposition was a far better team just wasn't happening in the day. But I don't think there was ever a game where we went out and tossed it off and thought, we'll just go through the motions. I'm not saying the lads did today, but that's what it looked like. It looked as if the passion had drained, had gone. I mean, after such a remarkable result against the top of the league, Leicester, I don't think they'll be left for long, by the way, watching them last night. It was an incredible turnaround and the biggest kick in the cream crackers, the crystals, you could get. Ian Moggy says, was absolutely dreadful today. Atmosphere was flat. It's nice touch from the Red Faction. And Mugger actually written it down here. Yeah, so well done the Red Faction and the Borough fans. I mentioned in the lounge. The banner saying, get well soon, Mugger. So well done for that. And if you're religious in any way, shape or form, whoever you believe in or what you believe in, say a prayer for Mugger. Obviously, we don't know the extent, but obviously he's out for a reason. And we just hope and pray that the big man's back sooner rather than later, where he belongs in the dugout or pitch side with Birmingham City. So, yeah, good luck to Mugger and say your prayers if you're in any way, shape or form, faith. Jay Shaw says, one of the most abysmal performances I've ever had the misfortune of witnessing. The club is rotten to the core and the buck stops with the chairman. Jay Shaw, so Jay's just flicking it on to the chairman now. So Carrick's had it, the chairman's had it, the recruitment's had it, the players have had it. But that's what I mean, it's collectively. So everybody's mentioning this one and that one. It's like the team today. Some saying Beleza was tosh, he was tosh. Everybody was tosh. And when we're talking about the team and who we get in and the recruitment, it's collectively. So it's everybody to blame. Not one, the whole lot of them. So they all should carry the can, but unfortunately football doesn't work with that. One will carry the can, and that's the coach. He's the guy that takes the flat, takes the stick, gets ridiculed, has to face the media. The rest don't need to say anything, they just sit back. Why do we always seem to get rid of the best players? We get short of crooks when he had no strikers. Matt McNeil. Has anybody asked Carrick, did he actually have a say in it? Has he been asked that question? If he's true to selling honest, I don't think he has. I don't think for a minute that he would sanction Crooks going. Why would he? When he's seen Rodgers going out and young Kavanagh, why would he sanction a move with a guy that's under contract? Maybe he did, but if he did, then he's crackers. Get City back in goal. Dieng he's talking about in goal next week. Is just the style of goalkeeping Glover plays. He always palms the ball away instead of catching it. Yeah, Red. Some people have had a go at the goalkeeper, but he did have a couple of good saves today. It could have been 4, quite easily 4. Should have been 4. There was what I say. There was a couple that they could have dinked the keeper. The second time they did, but it was way off target. That'd have been highly embarrassing. But it's something we probably deserve. So it highlights that we can't mess about at the back. That was the worst bit of performance this season, mid-table side. That's with Daniel Jones. Daniel not happy. Catherine Hunter Davis, hiya. Catherine, hiya Bernie. Catherine from Nova Scotia, Canada here. Wow. Wondering why the only player on the pitch who's allowed to handle the ball is the goalkeeper. If the goalkeeper doesn't grab it, or at least try to, they always palm it. The old school goalies always... Yeah, well, the modern kit are just like modern football. I don't think they get... Look, the game's changed. Why has it changed? Well, it's not changed on the pitch. Still 11v11. Still the same size of goals. Some of the same width and 18-yard ball. Everything's the same. Added minutes on, yeah, I'll give you that. VAR, not in the Championship. So people have you believe that the game's transformed from when we played. No. Goalkeepers, yeah. Some kickers are taught to punch it. I remember saying the radio many years ago with the late great Ali Brownlee, Swatzer, when he comes out, should start catching it instead of punching it, because he keeps going to the opposition players who are running about the edge of the box. And the goalkeeping coach, a guy called Paul Barron, told Ali, tell Bernie he's got a great ratio for this. And it was a cup game away, and Ali had handed me the bit of paper and it says, you know, these are the stats now. And Ali says to Ali, well, let's see what happens. That day in the cup, he's palmed one. The lads took a touch and dinked it with 20 yards over Swatzer's head. I nearly wet myself laughing. That was the only second away win of Plymouth's season. Tell us how bad it was. Yeah, I heard that. So Plymouth won one game all season away from home, and they beat us. Well, I hear people say typical Borough. I didn't phone my son. My son's in Edinburgh, Borough mad fanatic. He'll be down in the dumps. He might not even answer the phone. He says after Leicester, it's just like the thing and he's only, 30? It's just like the thing we'll go and no do it against Plymouth. Too slow. A lot of them playing walking football. Our home form is poor. Michael Goody. Michael, hi Michael. I tell you what, that's a fair point. It's like walking, but I'm going to write that down. I'm going to use that. It's like walking football. We get the ball, we pass it, we get it back. We'll have it there. Walking football, you do that when you're 80. Sorry to some of my mates who play it. I don't mean that derogatory, but you know what I mean. Professional footballers, walking football, slow, laboured, predictable. The best players on the pitch today were the young kids taking the penalties at half time. I missed them. This was only the second. I've read that. Dave Ditchburn, hi Dave. I hope every player doesn't slip tonight. Disgrace, better players in the terraces. Grab the ball, sorry. Yeah, I get what you meant, Catherine. So, the keepers from the past, a lot of them would catch the ball, bring it into their chest, reach it at the highest point and hold on to it with the gloves. These days, keepers prefer to punch it. I'm like you, I believe Catherine should catch it. Jay says, no one can be surprised in the slightest as to where we are. The chairman has asset stripped the last two transfer windows and replaced with cheap dross. He then has the audacity to increase season ticket prices, champagne prices for lemonade football. So Jay's certainly having a go, and I share his frustration. You know, somebody told me, as I say, the club's got, as a business, they know the business side of the club. We don't as fans. We can only guess and surmise. He knows what it is. But somebody told me we're the 7th highest prices in all the leagues. Would that be true? Surely not. 7th in the country. 7th. But as Jay says, we're getting transfer windows. Last couple haven't been productive, and now we've got the audacity to increase season ticket prices, champagne prices for lemonade football. Wow. Ricky Stairs says, hi Bernie, we play out from the back because we don't have anybody up front to play it to. When we did, it came straight back. All players are similar. Ricky, I mentioned it last week. How many players? We've got 6 players that all play similar. Play similar roles. All same height, same build, same pace. I agree with that. And we don't hit it forward because we're not very quick. If we had a Traore up there who wasn't a great finisher, by any stretch of the imagination, you could just hit it over it. I get why we don't play it. We don't have anybody to hold it up. We don't, with strength and nastiness, we don't have anybody of that ilk. And we don't have any real pace. So Vera's quick-ish. He's not lightning quick. But I know why we don't play it forward. But we can't play it at the back either. So when we try to play it to the flanks, open up and play it in the corners and push up and get in there and try and squeeze up the park. I mean, it's time. I was taught, don't forget, I played left wing when Peter Davenport came in. And the idea was, if I hug the line, I get the ball, my first trainer thought is I turn onto my left foot and I play up the line. And whoever's up front, if it was Davenport and whoever it was, they would peel out and go and get the ball. And that was the idea. They knew if I didn't open up, it wasn't going up there, but they knew when I opened up, I was playing up the line. I'm not saying hoofing it, I'm curling it with my left foot up the line and then going on there to help out. I don't see any of that. There was loads of times and opportunities today to do that, and we didn't do it. We don't do it. I don't know why. Alien's hoofing them. There was hoofs all of the park. Should have kept on McGree. I think, my opinion, Carrick took the wrong players off. So David Jackson says we are the most expensive season tickets in the Championship. Maybe we are trying to be the most expensive in the First Division next season. Hi Bernie, we play out from the back because we don't. Yeah, I've mentioned that. So yeah, look, I get why we play for the back, but we can do it quicker, sharper, and stop taking risks and chances and try and play up the flanks and get out of danger. Not up the middle. We've no height up the middle. I get it. And as I say, we've no real pace. But surely, if the left or right-sided player... Look, we miss Jones. I'm not saying he's the be-all and end-all and another saviour like people portray Latty Laugh. He's not the saviour, but he gives you an outlet and a bit of pace and a bit of trickery. And we don't seem to have any of that. You know, I keep hearing Foz is the goal scorer. He had a chance today. It was offside, I think, but he didn't know that. It hit the keeper. Wasn't really in it. He's not. As I say, people who say Foz is the best striker at the club, you're deluded. I'm sorry, you're deluded. It may sound arrogant, but I've not seen it. I've watched every game since he arrived. I've seen him on the right wing for the majority. I've seen him in front of goal. A couple of weeks ago, scored a worldie. Great goal. Flicked up with his left, great goal with his right. Do you know what an actual phrase is? Like laugh. Rash. First touch is poor. Young Coburn. Good at battling and scrapping. Not ruthless enough. He's not going to be prolific. I don't get it. How are you expected to win games if you've not got guys who put the ball in the net and keep letting players go? Don't get it. Liam Bennett says, Bernie, if we have a good go next year for the top two, how many of these players would be the starting for us? I would say, well, this is a long-winded one, so I'll respect it. I would say Hackney, McGree, maybe Dieng, possibly Vandenberg, if he continues to improve. The rest, absolutely no chance to get promoted out of the league. You need two decent strikers who can hit double figures, plus an attacking mid and wide man who can get close to double figures. Sadly, we are so far away. But what you're saying, like, I've said this all season. I looked at 12 players come in. It's all well and good, and I get why. Over the years, foundations made of sand, loan players in. We're not in control of their destiny or our destiny, so they head off. Then we have to rebuild. So I get why the club's doing it. And the club's obviously getting rough diamonds in, hoping to polish them up and sell for millions. And they will, if you were to ask people at the top of the club, they would say, well, we've already achieved it. After 6 months, we've just got 12, 14 million for a guy who costs $1 million or 2 million, whatever he costs, Rodgers. So that's where they want to go. I get that. But has the modern game fan, today proved they've not, have they got the patience? No, they've not. Today proved it. I get what they're doing, but fans have not got patience, especially in the modern game. In society, there's no patience. And today, in the last game we played at home, boos. And that's only twice I've heard boos since Carrick arrival. And I don't think some of the players can handle the boos. I think they take it personally. Fans are there to pay the money, get behind you, which they do, and they can boo you when they want. I always think it's better leaving it at the end, but you pay your money, so do it when you like. But regarding players, Dieng's good keeper, but is he a Mark Schwarzer? I don't think so. Is he better than Lumley? Yeah. Is he better than this guy? Possibly, but I don't see him as another saviour shot stopper. I've not seen it. Hackney, without a doubt, I'd keep him. But if somebody comes in this summer, he's gone. If somebody comes in for McGree, McGree for me is the best player we've got. Energy, work rate, can score, can create, lively. He's a good role model for the younger players out there. He's an international. So McGree without a doubt. But hey, McGree, sub today. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he had a great game, but you could have took 11 off. But why McGree? McGree, there seems to be something that a sync with, when he was playing at the start, and then he was left out of the team when he was fit, and then he got injured, and then he went to the Asian Cup, and it's just something. I don't know what it is, but to the outside looking in, maybe just me, something doesn't sit right with me. But Hackney, I'd love to keep McGree. Dieng, fair enough. If you want to keep Dieng, I wouldn't go wow, but yeah. But we need a boatload of players this summer. But the club are obviously hoping the 12 players we brought in this summer are going to start bearing fruit and showing what they've got. But the flip side is, to get top quality, you need money. It's like 7 minutes. I usually get 10 minutes. There was a 7. Who are the forward scout at the Borough? They're useless. They don't know what a striker is. I'll tell you what, Chris, some of the strikers we've had in the last 10 years, the scouts couldn't strike matches. They've not got a clue. They couldn't spell strikers. Some of the rubbish, the dross, and the money we've squandered. And I think that's what Steve Gibson's doing now. He's probably relied on guys over the years spending his money, because it is his money, it's his club, and thought, do you know what? I'm not spending 12 million in him and 10 in that, and I'm getting young players, I'm going to make money rather than keep spending and squandering money. Don't forget, it's his money. If it's your money, And you're telling me to go in whatever sport it was, get me some great players, performers or whatever, and I keep bringing duffers in, and it's like throwing money out the car window. There's to be a time you go, do you know what? I'm going to retrieve some of this. I can't keep squandering money. That's what I think, looking at Gibson's position, what he's doing. He's saying, I've done it for years, I'm not doing it anymore. 12 million to Middlesbrough, a lot of money. I keep saying Piero, 5 million. Never kicked his ass at Middlesbrough. Latila, 5 million. Average. Now he's bringing all these boys in now trying to polish them up, to make money rather than squander money. I get it, but I don't think the fans have got the patience. They showed that today, they've not. How long do you think the club will continue with the new recruitment model when it proves as successful as this season? That's for David. Stefan says, Carrick will be replaced when it's all over the season, and again, it's a massive rebuild next season. Look, I've heard at Middlesbrough, the club I support and I love and grateful for giving me my career. I've heard for years, different managers, different coaches, different ideas, different prospects, different models. Next year it could be Twiggy. She could be the model. I don't know. But when it doesn't go to plan, they panic. Probably all clubs panic when it's not going right. But they panic because they know that the fans have not got the patience. So I've heard this, Jonathan Woodgate took over. Going to play great attractive football. We went to Luton, I think it was 3-3. It was one of the best games I've ever seen. I was thinking, wow, what a season we're in for here. We're going to attack and play football, and we're going to enjoy it. And then all of a sudden, the wheels come off and we have to readjust, and then the format changes, and then the ideas change, and then before you know it, big Woodgate's out the door. Then we get somebody else in, and that's the way football is. But the fans have got a massive part to play. As in, did they accept it? Did they go with it? Did they continue to boo what they did today? As I say, me personally, I don't like booing. As I say, when I played, if you booed me, I'd think, well, you're paying to watch me and the team. If you want to get my backs when we're crap, keep it going. You're not going to make us any better. I would try and score a goal and say, up you, whatever. But if you're a defender or a midfielder, you can't shake that off as easy. It must be difficult. But today, unacceptable, not good enough, and the players have to take it in the chin like a man tonight and just say, we were garbage. Last week we got the plaudits. Leicester, great result, performance. Nobody in the planet, I don't think, would have put... In the lounge today, 250 people, I said, put up your hands if you says we were going to beat Leicester. One guy put up his hand and I says, you're a liar. He says, no, I put £10 bet on and I won it. But I think he got the £10 off his mate. I don't think anybody on the planet would have given us an earthly last week against Leicester. But we done it. But today, team was... Oh, I can't read that, Leslie, away, man. Matt McNeil says, who's in charge of getting new players in because they want shooting? As I say, it's collective, Mark. Carrick will have a bit to say. The chairman will probably have a bit to say. The chief executive will have a bit to say. And the director of football has probably got the biggest say of all. That's the way they operate. I know that because I know guys in the game, the modern game, who tell me stories and tell me how they operate and what happens, and players getting sold under their nose and they're frustrated and they're trying to rebel but they can't say what they really want in front of the cameras or the press. We know that. I've read things for Carrick over the weeks on social media and read and thought, I don't believe that for a minute. I don't believe it for a minute. But they can't look, people in jobs, whether it's football, you work in a factory, you can't tell the truth these days, you get sacked. So everybody's bluffing. So do I believe many people in football? No, I don't. Blood old tosh, twaddle. Stephen Cooper says, a back three is obviously a better formation than the four we play at home. Well, is it? We have to try it. The tragedy was Mugger was not given the money to build a good side, and he was rescued aside from Strachan's dross. Mugger brought in the players such as Friend and Ledbetter before being sacked. Yeah, Tony Mowbray, and if you, it says at the start of the show, if you're religious in any way, irrespective of who you look up to or pray to, say a prayer for Mugger. Obviously he's got an issue, don't know what. Say a prayer for him, and let's hope he's back. 6 weeks that they've put out there that he's back where he belongs. Yeah, Tony Mowbray was at Middlesbrough, done brilliant getting us out the scenario we were in under Strachan, and then the next year his away form was poor. Mugger's my pal, but he knows it was bad. But was he given a fair hand? No chance. Him and Woodgate, for me, get the worst hands of all when they were in charge of Middlesbrough. No money, no support. Goalpost probably moved, whereas all the others who come in from all over the country and the world or whatever were given big bucks and good support. They never. Daniel Patson says, Belazer, talk to me. What does he give us? So Daniel's questioning Belazer. As I say, today of all days, just to cherry pick one player, I think it's insane. One player, after watching that. One player. Did Belazer cause the goals? David says, was a nice touch by the Red Faction today for Mugger. Get well soon, Mugger. Yeah, well done, David. Yeah, the Red Faction, well done. Fans behind the goal to the right where I was sitting. Get well soon, Mugger. Big banner. Loud and clear. Took a picture, I'll put it on social media later on. That was the best thing to come out of the game. Seeing that support for one of Borough's all-time greats. Red Lad. Lives in the area. Loves the Borough. Irrespective of where he goes, because that's a job. That's his business. But he's a Borough lad, and this is where he applied his trade. And for me, as I say, he's a man with morals, standards, principles. He's got the lot, he's got it in abundance, and he's a great human being. And I just hope and pray that whatever his problem is, he gets over it and he's back where he belongs. Mohammed says, Carrick has signed new deal. Bernard Joseph Slavin will be confirmed in coming days or weeks. What's that going to do, Mohammed? All that means is that if a club comes in this summer, he can move on and go for a boatload of money, and we get a boatload of money. See, the thing about contracts, players sign you get Hackney signing a new contract, Fry signing a new contract, Carrick if he signs a new contract. It doesn't mean anything. It just means they're on more money, getting a bit more in the bank. The club gets a bit more money when he moves on because he's on a long time. So it doesn't mean anything. For me, it doesn't mean anything. Contracts mean nothing. Totally agree about Mugger Bernie, a great man and Borough through and through. Yeah, he is that. Anybody with an ounce of footballing knowledge for this area knows what Tony Mowbray was all about. He would put his head in where I wouldn't put my boot. Tough, fearless, everything. Tony Mowbray. Bernie Joe Slavin, you've spoken to Tony Mowbray. No direct, sent a text, no people has, but that's all private and yeah. Peter Sloan says, hi Bernie, what is his graceful performance? Not a shot on target, we've mentioned that throughout, Peter. Plymouth won one game away, we mentioned that as well. I've had a look at home form, not one since Christmas. Peter, you must have just joined us. Where have you been? Having a drink? I mentioned all that. Yeah, they're away form. I think they've won one away all season. Our home form have not won since the turn of the year. But you carry on and say, who wants to watch this rubbish next season and paying more for a season ticket? So that's Peter, how they say. Jonathan Clark says, Bernie, Carrick needs to change up the formation. We are too predictable. The tragedy was Mugger was not... Yeah, we've mentioned that, sorry. Totally agree, yeah. Where are we there? Bernie, Carrick needs to change. Look, Carrick changed the formation last week at Leicester. What to treat. I don't see any problems. Look, because you go 3 centre-backs doesn't mean it's a negative trait. It's a negative formation. If your wing backs are bombing forward and creating, and one of your centre-backs can push up now and again as long as they get back, I don't see any... It's not a negative formation if it's played properly. Some people are this in the head, oh, you play 3 centre-backs. But should we really need to play 3 centre-backs against a team today who's garbage away from home, who's huffing and puffing? We could have played 3, just 3 at the back, forget wing back, just 3. But their number 9 was a handful. He was up there in the zone. He was taking players on. He scored a second goal. He was a handful. Big, strong, commanding figure. The only thing that's consistent about us is being inconsistent. Mike McLaughlin, you've robbed my line. I mentioned that at the top of the show. You may have not listened. I agree. You know, Mike kept the week saying, oh, but we're consistent with this. And no, you're right. The only thing that's consistent is being inconsistent. We're hitty missy. We don't. Last year was terrific. Last year's the best football I've seen since I arrived in Teesside. Amazing football, great to watch, creativity, goals. Every player did their stuff. Then half the team goes, new recruitment, and it's been a shadow. if anything, after looking at today's performance, the headline, if I was writing the papers, would be Boring Borough. Would be in tomorrow's papers. I don't read papers, by the way. I'm only saying, dreaming. Boring Borough would be the headline. Boring today. Boring. Contract says 2 wins at home in the last 13 home games tells it all. Well, there you go. 2 and 13. That's a damning stat as well. Next season, maybe even harder to win promotion with Everton possibly coming down and Portsmouth, Derby and Bolton coming up. David, that happens every year. The teams getting down and get boatloads of money and can invest and get better players, and that's where we are. We've been bobbing about this division for 13 years out of 14, so anybody that thinks we're just going to turn it around the summer, bring in all these big named hitters, spend millions of it, I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're living in wherever it is. I was going to say Uranus, but I'll not say that. That's a planet, isn't it? Jonathan Platt says, I'm not saying the defeat was Glover's fault, but why is Carrick not playing a number 1? I heard somebody going down the stairs. No, Jonathan, I wasn't being skinny. I heard somebody come down the stairs as the fans were coming out and moaning and groaning. They're going, why does he not play? Why does Carrick continue to play Glover? I don't know the reason, but Carrick sees him every day at training. And we've heard past managers saying it's how they train so they shall play, and if they do it at training, and if they don't do it at training, they won't be involved. Maybe the keeper Daying's not been doing it at training. Maybe Carrick's just been stubborn and saying, no, I'm playing him. You headed off the Asian Cup. I'm still in control of the team, the starting team, and maybe he's flexing a bit. I don't know. We will never see the Premiership as long as Gibson owns this club. Simple. That's from Jason Carter. Paul says, hi Bernie, I think it would be good to have kept the same team and formation today as one against Leicester. Would have kept continuity perhaps, then we'd have seen it if Leicester win was just a fluke. Paul, do you know what? I expected the same team. I expected the same formation. I did. I don't know if there was injuries and that's how he had to change it, but he changed it and I was surprised. If I'm being honest, when I read the team, I was surprised. I would have kept the same team, same formation. After such a great performance and result against the top boys, you deserve to stay in. But Carrick may have had reason to change it. I don't know why. Rob M says, I think the team need to come out and publicly apologise to the paying fans for that performance today. Went 1-0 down and the head fell off. Totally lacklustre from start to finish. That was the thing, Rob. We never had a period of the game where we looked convincing, we looked positive, we looked in control. There wasn't a stage in the game. We took over. They say all the subs were made, but to no effect. Ben Fielding says, do you think Carrick has the balls and steel to ball up players and get them going? Doesn't show enough emotion for me. I'm sure behind the scenes, Ben, if he doesn't, somebody else has to do it. I mean, if I was in there and Carrick was pussyfooting around, I don't think I would hesitate and give them a rollick in each and every one of them. Individually, collectively, I think you go around them all today and give them the right act and tell them exactly what's happening. And, you know, you're wearing this shirt, you need to wear it with pride. I don't care where if you're thinking of the beach it now, get it out of your head or your next club or whatever. Concentrate. You know, the season's fizzing out. The fans have paid the money up front. They want to go out with bowing with a bit of fashion, getting into the summer where they can think, yeah, good finish to the season. Because whatever happens, believe it or not, going into the summer, the fans go away and think about it. Wow, what a bad end of the season, garbage. You want them to go away and think, do you know what? We put a good fight there and we put a shift in the last 10 games. Let's do it. Let the fans get into the summer fairly happy, thinking, do you know what? A lot of these players on 4-year contracts, they're going to be here. We're going to add to it in the summer. Get a bit of momentum going. But Matt Scott says, end of the season can't come quick enough now, Bernie. Not gambling on renewing season ticket. No evidence of any real ambition from the club. Keep selling best players. Good for the club business maybe, but not for the fans. Look, the club is a business. All football clubs are business, so it's business. I totally get that. I say nobody's right, nobody's wrong. But nobody's got a gun at your head. You're a fan, you do what you think's right for your family, for yourself. The club has to do what they think's right for the club to keep it afloat and keep it going and functioning financially. So there's no rights or wrongs, but you say there's no evidence of any real ambition from the club, keep selling players, good for the bit. Yeah, it's good for the football club to keep it afloat. That's what we all want, and to keep it going. So that's obviously number one priority. But Is it good for the fans? No. Is it good for Carrick? No. Is it good for the team? No. So it's good for the club as a whole. It's not good for the team. It's not good for the fans. It's not good for Carrick. When Carrick came in, we were told he would have Michael Phelan in to help him. When is he due to start? So David's digging up old hat. Do you know what, David? I mentioned that the other day. No, on this, I mentioned it when my mates was talking. I remember that when Michael Carrick got the job, there was talk about an experienced guy coming in to obviously help him out. Michael Phelan for Manchester United. He made his debut tonight. Gary Pallister made his debut at Old Trafford against Norwich. Yeah, we were told, or that was the word in the street, that we were going to get somebody experienced in to help Michael Carrick ply his trade. Then Jonathan Woodgate came in, to a lot of people's surprise, even probably Woody's. And then we were still waiting, but anyway, it's not happened. But let's be honest, is another figurehead behind the scenes going to change what we're saying? I thought if you've either got it, you've not. I mean, people talking about formations. The late great Brian Clough, Borough legend. Can't believe his figurines still in Albert Park, the Riverside. He says it's not about formation; it's about players. Yeah, last week could we play that formation every week and get away with it and keep? Probably not, but it worked last week. But it's about players. If you've got average players, the odds are you probably average performances. Sadly, more of Carrick has already signed a new deal last week. It will be confirmed. Oh, Mohammed have mentioned that. Champagne prices for lemonade. Smiley face for Colin Fryatt. I think somebody used that on the boxing, wasn't it? I think somebody mentioned that. Ben Phelan says more performances and setups like today, and they'll rip it up in front of him. He got it wrong today. Even he admitted it. Could be a masterstroke if another club comes in for him. More compensation. So Ben Fielding more or less saying if he went. Playing from the back and then takes McGree and Silvera off. What the? Yeah, there was a lot of frustration around it. I mean, when I seen McGree going off, I was thinking, what's happening? But Craig Dale says, Bernie, who is a better finisher at the club than Foz then? None of them's good. Including Foz, none of them. It's not who's better than Foz and who's better than any of them. There's nobody. They're all muchness, similar. Not ruthless, not clinical, not composed, rash. No, so none of them. So it's not who's better than Foz. Is Foz better than Coburn? Is Foz better than Latilav? No, they're all on the par. They've all run about the 5 goals in the league. Not good enough. We're getting into the month of March, for God's sake. March, 5 goals. 5. It's dreadful. And we've been in the top half of the table the majority of the season. Bernie, Carrick and Woodgate need to be put more pressure on Gibson and Scott to sort this. Not good enough. Can't be losing to teams like Plymouth. Omar. Hi, Omar. I don't know how much they put pressure on the chief exec would come into that as well. Money, chief exec, director of football, and the chairman. I don't know if they put pressure on or how much they put. I certainly would if I was in that position, but I think I'd have been gone by now if I was in that position. I couldn't handle it. But Carrick, like a lot of coaches up and down the country, I say it all the time, they bought into the model, to use that word. I keep thinking She's a Model by Kraftwerk, what a song that is. Yeah, to the model. So when you buy into it, but I think Carrick, after last season's great success and the way we played and the style and brand and everything went hunky-dory, I think now he's seen the reality and how difficult the job is now. I think he's really seen it with his own eyes, and he knows that everything he wants or wants to come in or wants to go, he ain't in total control. Well, he's not in total control, we know that. So somebody's trying to argue with me that today. I'm saying, what are you on about? You're a coach for a reason, because other people have put their tuppence worth in. When you were the manager years ago with the Clough, the Redknapp, the Allardyce, they were in control. They used to sign players and say to the chairman, I've signed him for 500 grand. Just get... And they'd be going, what are you on about? I've signed him. They wouldn't dare do that now. McGree ain't staying at the Borough, Bernie. Jason, if I was a betting man, I'd say he'd be off in the summer. That's only what I think. I believe that. Kieran Scott was asked a few weeks ago on another Borough podcast and was asked if the club was looking into extending, this is the Colin Fry, his contract, and he says we are looking at his contract, meaning Michael Carrick's. Yeah, what does I say? Kieran Scott's a big part of that. Whether Kieran Scott, my knowledge, directors of football like Sunderland have the strength to sack the coach. Look no further than up the road. Tony Mowbray sacked Speakman. I put it out there at the time. Speakman said to Mugger, Tony Mowbray, who's played hundreds of games, managed hundreds of games, top professional, top guy, knows the game inside out, being told by a rookie, I don't even know what his qualifications are, him saying to Mugger after a 1-1 draw at Millwall, why did you do this and why did you play those tactics? What are you on about? No one of Warnock's been in and out jobs recently. He's used to doing everything himself, letting these young rookies, spunkies, whatever you want to call them, tell a name. Guys who's played at the top level, managed at the top level. These guys who, I don't even know what they do, what the qualifications is. Anybody know the qualifications? A director of football, please get in touch with me, let me know, because I wake up during the night thinking about it in a sweat, thinking, how do you get a job, director of football? It's one of the most prized jobs in the club, or whatever club it is. And they've a lot of control and a lot of say, but we don't know where they get the strength from. I don't see any evidence of Speakman up there or this guy here. I don't see any evidence of background, hundreds of this, thousands of that, hundreds of... I don't see any evidence. The recruitment model is absolutely fine. Injuries and the occasional inexperience from the manager, which you will learn this with James Adam Kane taking the flip side of it. And why are we... which you will learn from why we are where we are. Plus, we had lots of quality loanees to replace last year. For me, transitional season just needs 2 or 3 more in the summer, and we will be top drawer. James, it's a positive message. I agree with some of it. I disagree with other bits of it, but that's your opinion. I've read it out. So the recruitment model is absolutely fine, according to James. Maybe James is one of those guys, he might be another club or looking to get into that job, but no, seriously, he says the recruitment model's fine, injuries and occasional inexperience from the manager. But you talk about injuries, James, injuries. Liverpool's full of injuries. They're still top of the Premier League. Yeah, they've got big money signings and great players. Well, I get that. But you have to cope with injuries. In my day, we had 14 players. 14 players. Very few injuries. It was a man with a sponge used to clear your injuries. If you had a bad leg or rub a sponge on it, you were all right. They were mongrels, they fought. They didn't fall like flies and went for 3 weeks with a ladder in their tights or a strained calf or a hamstring. These days, the injuries, I question some of the injuries. Is it just the mother, they don't want to take any chances? Well, in my day, we did. We did take chances because we were geared for it. We were passionate. We were tougher. Gary Hamilton, I mentioned him the other week. He had a hole in his knee, not visually, within his knee. He played through that pain. He finished his career, yeah. In hindsight, it was the wrong thing to do. But the modern player now, no, they get a wee niggle. Oh, I need to be out for 3 weeks, need to watch myself. So don't buy into that. The loanees, quality players last year. We brought 12 in this year. You're lucky if there's, I didn't know, probably one of them I knew that came in. I knew it would take time. But the fans are showing, you're one of the few that showed that you've got patience. A lot of players not got patience. When you're paying hard-earned cash, you want to see something developing. This year, we've not seen it. So, transitional season, yeah. Needs 2 or 3. I think we need more than that in the summer. I think you're kidding yourself on there, James. 2 or 3. You're joking, aren't you? We've no pace. We've no goal-scoring midfielder. We've no striker. We've no width. No wingers. Come on. We need more than that, James. Not unless you're going to watch a different team. Carrick signed last week. I've read it out 3 times. Jonathan Clark, right, let's go. I'm reading 5 more. I think I've overshot the runway. I have. Anyone wants to debate that like you, Jonathan Quinn, bring it on, son. So James is having a go at Jonathan, whatever he says. Surely you know is what issue is with Mowbray. He's your mate, but obviously been told to say nothing. But Leslie, if I knew or do know, why am I going to tell you? You don't know Tony Mowbray. He's not your pal. Tony Mowbray's my pal. I get told loads of things in secrecy, to keep my mouth shut. Don't mention it. So if somebody says to me, don't say it, I ain't going to say it. You can put a gun to my head, I'm not going to tell you. So, it's none of your business. We hope and pray Mugger's fine. He's obviously got an issue. It's out there in the open. Mugger was the guy that told his told the public and his club, Birmingham. But why do I need to get into the details for you or anybody? People ask me today, I just say he's obviously got an issue. I missed that out. Need to invest in the academy. It will save the club millions. So Stefan Jarrett, this is the thing. The guy, James Adam, wasn't it? I'd like to hear your stance, not today, probably another day, James, about the academy. For me, the academy can't be working. Yeah, we got Hackney, Redcar lad, brilliant. Gibson, recent years, never developed a centre forward. Before that, you're looking at Johnson and Adam Johnson, Stuart Downing, guys like that. But now we're going around Europe and America, bringing players in at 19, 20, 21, 4-year contracts. Well, have we not got an under 21 team here at Middlesbrough? You know, it tells me there's no real talent in that young team at the minute when nobody's talking about them. Burnley for manager, I think I'll leave it there. But manager of Tesco. These players obviously aren't good enough for Carrick's system, Matthew King. But if they're not good enough, shouldn't play the system. Right, okay, I'm going to finish there. Thank you very much. Apologies for not reading these out. Thanks to Cleveland Systems Engineering, Galaxy Blinds, Ultimate Windows, Cornerstone Ocean Lighting, Dovecot Advanced Utility Solutions, GRS Installation, CGM Cars. Thanks for watching. Up the Borough. Garbage day. Don't give me that bad day at the office. It was dreadful. I say it was the scariest thing I've seen since Exorcist. And I mean that. I'm not even laughing. I'm not saying that for a laugh effect. Total BS will be back on Monday. That's the podcast. And tune in then. Up the Borough. Cheers. On Monday night, I am on the Red from 6 o'clock to 7 live. So you can listen to your car, DAB. I've not got a DAB because I've got an old car. You need a fairly new car. But you can listen to DAB. And yeah, you can see me visually if you want to, or just listen in the car. But I don't think my opinion's going to change from now to Monday, do you? Anyway, cheers. Thanks for watching. Have a good Saturday night. Enjoy your curry or get the dog ice cream or whatever. Cheers. Thank you.